Many leaders of Muslim nations say they support the French intervention of Mali, but they are divided on how to approach the war in Syria. The Organization of Islamic Cooperation is holding a summit in Cairo. Historically, the OIC has been tepid in political issues, but in a time of sweeping change, some hope the forum will grow more dynamic. VOA's Elizabeth Aaron reports from Cairo.
Leaders from across the Muslim world gathered for the two-day summit in Cairo, with the conflicts in Syria and Mali taking center stage. Egypt has taken over the rotating chairmanship of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, and Islamist President Mohamed Morsi laid out the group's challenges, including what he called Islamophobia and extremism, even as he's under attack by opponents at home. Summit participants called for a negotiated solution to the conflict in Syria. The OIC suspended Syria's government last year. Iran's foreign minister Ali Akbar Salehi downplayed Tehran's position as one of the Assad government's few backers.
I'm optimistic that a solution to the crisis can be found, a Syrian solution, a peaceful solution due to the initiative of His Excellency President Morsi.
France's military operation against Islamist militants in Mali was a source of division too. The effort was praised by Senegal, but Mr. Morsi has condemned it. Amid protests in Tunis after the murder of an opposition leader there, Tunisia's president canceled plans to attend the conference, a reminder of the instability across the region. The conference is giving Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad a chance to build ties between his Shiite-led nation and Sunni-majority Egypt. He's the first leader of the Islamic Republic to visit Egypt. The countries broke relations in 1980 over Iran's revolution and Egypt's recognition of Israel. But while Mr. Ahmadinejad stressed the importance of an Egyptian-Iranian alliance, sectarian differences were on display during his visit to Al-Azhar, a seat of Sunni learning. Clerics accused Iran of interference by spreading Shiite belief. Political analyst Saeed Sadek says Iran feels on the defensive.
I think one of the things that they understand that the West wants is that the Arab Spring turns into a sea of Sunni regimes against Iran. So they want to get from Egypt any symbolic blessing or cooling down of attacks against Shia. But this is very difficult.
Underscoring the tensions, on the first day of Mr. Ahmadinejad's trip, a protester tried to hit him with a shoe. Elizabeth Aaron, VOA News, Cairo.
Now, for a more perspective on the situation in North Africa, we are now joined by Mohamed El-Shinnawi, a veteran Voice of America journalist who has spent many years reporting in North Africa and Middle East. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Vincent.
Now, it's interesting that this conference is actually happening in Cairo. President Morsi himself is in a country that is currently in a lot of trouble. Now, you came from Egypt not long time ago. Give us a sense of why are we seeing people on the street, very reminiscent of when they kicked out President Hosni Mubarak. What is happening? Are they impatient with the changes, or Mr. Morsi is not delivering?
The two. You said the two, because he is not delivering what he promised, and there is a slow pace of achieving anything. And on the other hand, people are impatient, because they waited for 30 years under Mubarak, then for 2 years under the transition without seeing anything, especially on the economic front. People are not finding jobs, prices are going high, and tourism is not existing. The economy is in a very bad shape. The reserve of the foreign currency is dropping from 36 billion to 13. And that is a threat that in 3 months to come, Egypt will not be able to pay for its imports.
Would you say that the people probably haven't given him enough time to address some of these issues?
Well, the Muslim Brotherhood promised something called the Renaissance Project, that they have a real project to advance everything in Egypt. 7 months later, they said, oh, it was just an idea. So people felt they were deceived. And they are not seeing anything on the ground. But you can give him benefit of the doubt, because there is a lot of turmoil in Egypt. And the real problem he is facing is the transitional justice. He missed the train on that one, so the police is still doing what was being done under Mubarak. People are very angry seeing this guy dragged naked in the streets of Cairo. And
now let's tie this in with what we're witnessing in Tunisia. That was the country that first had a revolution, but we're also seeing protests, especially after the death of that opposition leader, Belaid. But also there are issues there in those countries. This kind of struggle between the Islamists and the secularists. Give us a sense of what's the problem.
Political polarization is a real problem in all Arab Spring countries, but in Tunisia it was a little bit a little bit softer than the polarization in Egypt, because the leadership in Tunisia was very wise in having a broad-based coalition, including liberals, while in Egypt it is like Muslim Brotherhood waited for 80 years and would like to have it all at once. So the real problem that connecting Egypt and Tunisia now is resorting to violence, starting in the street and then assassination. Yesterday there was a fatwa by one of the clergymen in Egypt to kill Baradei and his colleagues in the Salvation Front. This is a serious development that will make the Arab Spring a deep winter, Arab winter, not Arab Spring.
Do you fear that actually there might be another revolution there very quickly?
Yes. Yes, actually next Friday would be a big demonstration asking for replacing Morsi.
That's quite worrisome. We look forward to getting you back here to give us more analysis. Thanks a lot,
Thank you, Vincent.
Now, Mohamed El-Shinnawi is a veteran Voice of America journalist and has reported on North Africa and the Middle East for many years.
Well, we want to know what you think about In Focus and the stories we cover. Join the conversation on Facebook. The address is VOA In Focus, and you can check our Africa headlines 24/7 at voaafrica.com.